Hi guys, it's Jody. Today's video, I want to do a simple floating bloom. And when I say simple, a little bit more, no swiping in the back of it, but I was inspired by the last piece I did, that angel wing transfer bloom, the just using the blue black. When I blew out that bloom on my board, you know, before I transferred it, I was like, oh, this is gorgeous. Okay. And I was already thinking then, okay, I have to do some kind of a floating bloom just with this. So that's what we're going to do today. And this is going to be the last video in my studio downstairs. The next one is going to be upstairs. I'm finally ready. I'm finally moved in up there, and I just got to tweak a few things. But so yeah, this is going to be the last time you're going to be seeing this background here, my furnace room. So without further ado, let's go get started painting this piece. All right, we are going to run through the colors really quick. Color again. I was so inspired by that last piece, and I'll get into what we're going to do here. But again, I've got this PBO Studio Acrylics. If you haven't noticed by now, this is probably my favorite color ever, because not only do I like using it by itself, but I like mixing it in other colors. But this is the PBO Studio Acrylics, the iridescent blue black. And I have this one mixed with my Dutch Boy Joe Sonia pouring medium. And unlike the last video that we did the swipe with it, I want to add one more cell activator instead of adding, just because I have it mixed up. I didn't have any gold mixed up. So again, we're going to use the black and the white. This again is the Atelier Interactive Mars Black mixed with Australian Floetrol 4:1. And then we have the Atelier Interactive Titanium White cell activator. This is also mixed with Australian Floetrol at 4:1. And then I've got my gold cell activator that I've been using. And this is also mixed with Australian Floetrol. The 1-part paint for this is a mix of the Atelier Interactive Pale Gold and then the PBO Studio Acrylics Precious Gold. And it's about a half a part of each. You know, I kind of eyeball it to make up the 1-part paint. So, but here's that consistency. And then my pillow is going to be my PPG Multi Pro. I've got some left here, so we're going to roll with it. And now let's go paint. All right, for this piece, I have got a 12-inch round canvas. I get these at Hobby Lobby. I love these. And I showed you the pillow. I'm going to get this flooded, but before I do that, I wanted to kind of show you. So that swipe we did, you know, that was pretty simple with the blue black. When I blew out that bloom, you know, on the board that I used to transfer, I loved that bloom. And I'm like, oh, that would be so awesome in kind of like a floating bloom like this. So that's what I want to do today. So this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to get this flooded and I'll be right back. All right, so I've got this flooded. I didn't go all the way to the edges because I don't need a lot of paint. I want to try and keep some negative space and kind of keep the integrity of the floating bloom. If it goes over a little, so be it, but I'm going to try hard not to. So we're going to put on a healthy amount of the blue black. That should do it. That should be plenty. I'm going to start with the white cell activator and put a healthy amount on because I kind of want some white to be in there too. A little bit more. That should be enough. And then I'm going to put the black on. Should be good. And I'm going to put the gold on over that, just a little. I just want a little bit of gold in there. That should be plenty. All right, here we go. All right, I'm digging that. Got a lot of bubble cells in there. Some stuff that's still gonna come up too. All right, that's filling in nicely. I want to play with this. All right. I am digging that. That without the glare. All right. I want to see how this spins out, so I will meet you over at the spinner box. All right. Here's kind of what we got before we spin it out. Not too big, which is what I wanted, because I hopefully will keep the integrity of the bloom. So I'm just going to give it a healthy spin, and we're going to go from there. Ooh, yeah. Let's bring some of that back. Some of these tendrils, whoop, and I just put paint in it. Some of these tendrils are gonna kind of go off, but I want to keep the bloom itself in the center as much as possible. All right. Oh, so cool. Yeah, just a little bit more. If I can keep most of it just how it is, but just a little bit stretched out more. Yeah. Ugh. Almost there. A little. Well, that guy's going off. I don't want you to go off anymore. Oh, that's all right. Actually, we might go that way a little bit further then. All right, not too much more paint. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that is so cool. Just the slightest of movement in the center, but I think we're just about there. I just want to do one more spin this way. I want to get just this over just a little. Yeah. Ooh, and I love that there's still some negative space. And the way the petals have come out, there's a lot of white in there, so that kind of adds to the negative space. But this is so cool. And I don't mind that this has gone over now. Let's go down this way a little. I don't want to warp the center cells too much. All right, I think that is it. I didn't save as much of the tendrils as I'd like, but you can still see the integrity of it. Ugh, can you see that shift? Oh, that is so cool. All right. I'm just kind of moving it where I want it. There we go. Just like that. Oh, I love that. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I'm going to get cleaned up and I'll bring you over for the flyover of this guy. All right, here is this guy. Oh my gosh. It is so super cool. I can't decide which orientation I like, but we'll reserve judgment for that when it dries. I want to show you there's some really cool shimmers, not only from that gold cell activator, but also this blue black. I mean, it's just going to dry so super cool. I got some really neat cells in here. I hope they don't get a little squirmy on me and they start to, and they stay this way. They kind of almost look like they have a little bit of a shadow to them. But I just love the simplicity of, I mean, you've got the white cell activator, the black cell activator, the gold cell activator, and you kind of get peaks of all of it in there. And some of it is the pillow that came up, but it just added the right mix. So super cool in here. I like how it's ringed with the white. All right, I will be back once this is dried to show you the dried results. All right, and I'm back to show you the piece, how it dried. I'm just gonna do it from my bench. Number one, I don't have my black cabinet over here anymore to stand this piece on, and it's small enough to where I can just kind of hold it. And I want to point some things out to you. Overall, I mean, it dried beautifully, but I did have shifting. I had a feeling I might, as I was, whenever you see me, you know, moving it around and looking, I'm kind of looking in the center to see how is it drying? Is there still shifting of some paint? Do I need to spin it a little bit more to get that stretched out just a little bit more? And I saw ever so slightly paint moving, and normally that's okay, but I forgot I was using, whenever I use more of the Dutch Boy, it's a little bit slicker than that Valspar. And so if I don't get enough of it stretched out, it tends to get a little squirrely on me, and that's what happened here. So without further ado, here it is as a whole, and I'm going to bring you in and I'm going to point out, you could probably see a little bit these cells kind of shifted here, but it is so super cool. I'm just going to do something fun with an acrylic marker right in here just to kind of blend it in and cover it up, and you know, you'll still get kind of that blue black, but just to kind of cover up some of the parts I don't like. But overall, I love this and how it dried, and that blue black shift I'll never tire of. But if you can see, I mean, it almost looks like it melted. I'm melting in the center there. And that was because my paint shifted. There was just a little bit too much left on in here. And since it was my Dutch Boy, it got a little bit squirrely. Whenever I say squirrely, this is usually what I mean. So if you have paints or your pieces are drying and they kind of shift a little bit like this, it's usually because you've left too much paint on, or just a little bit more than you should have taken it off. There is another reason too, and it is a gloss factor. When I used to use the Behr 8300, it would also get squirrely, even if I thought I took enough paint off. So those are a couple of reasons, but I definitely had some paint left on here that I should have. I didn't want to spin anymore. I wanted to keep, I wanted to keep the integrity. So we're going to have some fun with this, and I've got some new acrylic markers. I'll jazz that up a little bit, but overall, I mean, it is still really super cool piece. I love just using this blue black, and then I love how that gold cell activator kind of mixed with the black, and then you really can't even see the white cell activator in there except in the middle. But I think it's super cool. I mean, especially down here too. You get peaks of the gold, all of it. So overall, it turned out really cool, except for that middle part. And I'll jazz it up. And that's something you can do if you have issues like this and you're like, oh man, I really like the rest of this piece. Jazz it up with paint, acrylic markers. I mean, anything you want to, it's your piece. So so let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this piece and the blue black. Have you tried it yourself? So with that, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time up in my new studio.